And it's Friday, and Merlin is not here because the storm hit in his area, so his pain and the storm don't get along very well. So he's decided to lay down and take care of himself, hopefully to get himself in gear to maybe feel better tonight or for Saturday evening's podcast on Mitch the Ripper's channel. So that is why I have no co-host this morning. And I am saying a good morning to a Viking sandwich wench, my wonderful hubby Ronan Wolf, Green Badger Studios, Miss T. And I'm scrolling down, and we have a new person in our live chat, Dark Soldier 013. Welcome, pull up a chair in your favorite morning brew. We're going to get into the news this morning. And good morning, Fuckwad. Hi, how you guys doing? Me too, Fuckwad. It's just he's. When you suffer from chronic pain, the weather is not your friend at all, no matter how you look at it. And I do send out, positive energy and love and hugs to him as well, in hoping that he feels better, because everybody likes Merlin. Yep, you are. I rotated the wrenches. The only people that get permanent wrenches are my hubby, Thrax, and my patrons. Morning, Numbskull. How are you doing? Yep, a good morning bark from the news. Well, he's arguing with me because he wants to play fetch with me this morning, and I'm doing my show like usual. If you guys aren't savvy, well, not savvy, you guys are savvy, but if you guys have skipped it or missed it in one way or another, there seems to be a little bit of a purge going on. Update on Sargon. He did get his Google account unsuspended. He did do a video this morning, but in the video, according to Panina, it stated that he does not know what happened. They're still not telling him why he was suspended. So there is that. So he's still a little bit, befuddled about that. There are other people like Mitch the Ripper, Randy Raccoon. Let me see if I can name a couple of others. I think I saw Randy Monkey do a video on it, as well as Computing Forever, otherwise known as Dave Cullen. Oh, I know you're not a patron, Green Badger. I rotate the temporary wrenches in, out, and around in my live chat to give everybody a chance to become a mod. So chances are tonight or tomorrow, if you pop into a live chat, you won't have the wrench anymore because it's only temporary. That's how I work it. That way everybody gets a chance to be a mod, but not everybody has, a wrench, so the whole live chat isn't blue. That's the way I kind of work it. A little bit having fun, that way people can race in here and see. Because normally the first 1 to 4 people that pop into the live chat become mods. That's how I usually do that one. So that's the purge. What else are we doing today? He's being stubborn, as you can see. He's trying to get me to play fetch with him and stuff. He'll probably be barking at me again in another couple of minutes. I am going to... I heard about it, but don't see anything. There's a couple of recommendeds on my list. We'll get to those later on in the show, like usual. Morning, Meso Dragon. How are you doing over on the Twitch side this morning? That's one of the many reasons I am doing a push to be completely on Twitch by the end of the year. And I'm already on BitChute. So, all those links are on my website, which is below, on the YouTube side. On the Twitch side, I'm still going to have to do some tweaks to that particular area underneath the video. That way you guys can click to go to my website and so on and so forth. Yep, he is wound up. I wish I had some of his energy sometimes. I would like to say the purge probably won't affect me, but sooner or later it will, because I am doing news, but I am doing it in a way that they don't necessarily agree with. So, shut the cup up. So there is that problem there. So I am keeping an eye on it to see, but I've never gotten a strike on my channel. I've never not been able to live stream or upload any videos. Knock on wood. Wood floor. So that counts. Let me see. Andy did do his stream on JF's channel the other night. Sinatra and Suit Yourself both have their secondary channels in the description below. So check those out, and those will be down there until those get the numbers needed, because Suit no longer has his main channel. They never reinstated his main channel, which has been terminated, which sucks because they don't have a sense of humor. Someone actually, I think, tweeted out the thumbnail or had the thumbnail in a video or something highlighting the thumbnail that got struck down that terminated Suit's channel. And yeah, I mean, I can see how it's funny, but then again, yeah, shooting in Michigan, I saw that this morning. But since this is Good News Friday, chances are I will get as much information as I can, and that'll be a blog post news article. I don't know what the discussion tonight for Coffee Talk's going to be. I was going to look up voting histories for a few politicians, so that may be it. So let me see if I can get this started here. I see here. Here we go. All right, first the weather, as I like to start out with the weather in my own little way because I am the amateur weather girl. Let me see. Morning, Neilk. The weather for March 2nd, 2018. Strong storm system to affect the northern mid-Atlantic into the northeast and multiple hazards, and it's already hit, according to Merlin. Cold and snowy for much of the west, in the greatest snowfall accumulations expected in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Flash flooding possible across portions of the central and southern California coast through Friday afternoon, so they're going to need a boat. Widespread snow, rain, and strong winds developed overnight as a winter storm rapidly developed over the northeast and northern mid-Atlantic regions. In other words, pissy, crappy, and generally icky weather. Heavy snow across portions of New York have already exceeded a foot in a few locations. Oh, sorry about that, fuckwad. With more forecast today, heavy rain is expected for southern New England, especially for coastal areas from New Jersey to eastern Massachusetts. Wind speeds have increased in response to the strengthening of the main low-pressure system offshore New Jersey. Widespread high wind speeds will persist through the late morning and afternoon hours today as the system moves offshore to the east coast. Inland flooding from the excessive rainfall and coastal flooding from high seas storm surge will impact much of the area from New Jersey to Massachusetts. Numerous warnings are in effect for the northeast and mid-Atlantic, including winter weather advisories, storm warnings, and high wind warnings. Snow and rain will taper off by late Friday, Saturday morning as the system tracks further out into the Atlantic Ocean. Cold and snowy conditions will persist across most of the west into the weekend as a cold front pushes eastward toward the Rockies. Heavy rain. Yay, heavy rain. It's a new weather. It's Wayne. Heavy rain will likely set up along coastal areas of the northwest and portions of the northern California, with heavy mountain snow across the Sierras and other ranges across the Great Basin and Intermountain West. Locally, heavy rain is expected along the southern coast of California, which may pose flooding concerns this morning, especially over burn scar regions where flash flooding will be possible. Portions of the northern and central Rockies likely seeing up to a foot or so of new snow through Saturday. So, there we go. There is the map, with this being the thunderstorms, this being the wintry mix, and the white stuff being the snow, because we have the snow. And then we have the purple stuff, which is freezing rain possible in these little small areas here. And as you can see, there's nothing here, but I'm not very warm today. So, and then we've got the rain over here under the southern part of the Florida Peninsula, which covers Miami, Dade, Fort Lauderdale, and all those places down there. And this is what the temperature forecast looks like. Slightly warm temperatures in the southeast region, cooling off into the 60s and 50s to make a border against the 50s and 40s, on their way up to the 30s and 20s in the northeast, north central, and northwest areas of the United States. I'm learning geography as I go, yo. I can be taught! I'm learning. So that's the weather this morning. And I'm feeling a little goofy, so you'll have to excuse me. Let me see. If I could find someone who'll go by the name Shut the Cup Up. Yes, that's a whole lot of brr. I agree. So please dress appropriately for the weather. The first news story for this morning: police on patrol are fighting crime and hunger in their neighborhood. So let me see if I've got all the appropriate things checked off. Okay, and let's hit the play button. Le play button. Of course, unmuting it would help.
I responded to a house. It was a Marine veteran, disabled. She had one child that was going off to college, another 11-year-old. I can tell that she was doing her best.
Okay, for those of you that are wondering, yes, I try and find one cute animal story, one good police story, and then the other ones are pretty much potluck. So this is the good police story for the day.
Trying to raise this family until she just needed a little help. So I was able to provide her the Gleaner's food bag then and there when I was done with my call, and I know it meant a lot to her, and it meant a lot to me as well to be able to help her out.
Alright, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Patrolman Jeremy Torres could see the woman needed help. He was called to the East Side home because of a family dispute, but what he saw was a household in crisis. The single mom, a disabled Marine Corps veteran, had little to no food for her 2 children. Previously, in situations like this, Torres and his fellow officers would provide phone numbers for food pantries and other social services. But this time, the young Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department officer dashed to his patrol car and returned with a bag full of non-perishable food, enough for about a dozen meals. I could tell she was doing everything she could. She was struggling, he said of the mom. We can give them a phone number to call, but to be able to have that bag of food right then and there, that makes a difference. Good morning or good afternoon, Sir Adamantine. Let me see. The CARE, Community Action Relief Effort Bags Program, which officially launches Monday in AM PD's East District, is a joint project of Indianapolis Public Safety Agencies and Gleaner's Food Bank. It is one of several ideas developed during an event last year organized by IndyStar as part of its Our Children initiative, IU Health and Gleaners, and led by Simpler Consulting. Leaders in the fields of public health and education and food relief came together to discuss ways to fight childhood hunger in Indianapolis. The pilot program is an extension of the CARE mobile pantries that began visiting high-crime neighborhoods in 2015. At that time, then IMPD Chief Troy Riggs pointed to hunger as one of the root causes of crime in the city. Last year, nearly 45,000 people, including 18,000 infants and children, received food from a CARE mobile pantry. We know that people who live with hunger daily usually face many more life challenges, said Gleaner's president, John Elliott. Bringing CARE to these neighbors has delivered not only just food, but also help and hope. Now that help and hope can be delivered to their door in an emergency, at IMPD's East District headquarters, the former Eastgate Mall, 162 bags of food are stacked on pallets in the roll call room, available for officers to sign out daily. Each bag costs about $13 to fill and contains shelf-stable items including rice, beans, peanut butter, and pancake mix. In addition, referral cards for Connecticut to help to 211 and other social services are included. Let me see here. Oh, we have a morning finer print. Morning Mitch the Ripper. Let me see. We have a couple more popping in during me reading the good news this morning. All right. Yep. That's it. Cool. He is right, but he does not know the way. Wintry mix in the Philly area. Yep. I think I forecasted that one. I got that one. Let me see here. East District Commander Roger Spurgeon believes there are times when fighting crime with food makes sense. If you're hungry, that's all you can think about, he said. Too often that can lead to violence in the home, poor performance in school, and worse. By addressing an immediate need with immediate assistance, the hope is that it translates into more trust between the police and the community, he said. No, I didn't miss you, Panina. I actually mentioned you in the first part of the show, but good morning, Panina-chan, or as we're calling you now because of your punny behavior, Panina, in my Discord. All right. Paul Babcock, interim director of the city's Office of Public Health and Safety, said it's not just food the officers will be handing out with the recipient's permission. Their contact information will be given to Health and Safety Office personnel who can then follow up to connect them with wraparound services. Morning or good afternoon, Jay Willie. I haven't been able to type until now. That works. In this way, he said, police in the city became larger agents of positive change. Benita, does that translate to Pearl? I'm on top chat. Let me switch that to live chat. Don't forget to switch to your live chat. If you have it on top chat, double check. Over for the YouTube side. As District Commander, Spurgeon said the initiative puts a human face on officers. Many times we can get into a mindset of us versus them mentality. We are all human beings. We all have lives. We just need to try to help each other out. We have to do this together. Gleaners reports there are nearly 174,000 food-insecure people in Marion County, meaning they have limited or unreliable access to adequate food. In Gleaners' 21-county service area, 250,000 Hoosiers are food insecure. So that is what they're doing over there in a neighborhood in Indiana, which is cool. And 21 different counties, too. Next story. People leaving gloves and scarves for homeless in this town. All right. Bristol, England.
8:06, also known as morning boost o'clock.
Let's do it. A brutal cold snap in England is renewing concern for the homeless, and it's inspiring new ways to help people all across the city of Bristol.
Good morning, Perseus. How are you doing?
People are leaving hats, gloves, and scarves in public places. If you look close, you'll see there are notes attached.
Goodbye, Miss T. I hope you feel better soon.
That say, I'm not lost. If you need me, take me. This is all the work of a volunteer movement called Keep Bristol Warm, and supporters say their ultimate goal is to end homelessness. And until then, though, they say they're going to make people less fortunate feel a little more comfortable. Just a sweet little gesture.
I like that.
Yep, all across the city of Bristol, England, people are leaving hats, gloves, and scarves in public places. Today's Hoda Kodub has your morning boost. So that's the morning boost. Us versus them equals leftism that destroys nations. Yeah, and that's why the police are trying to bring the communities and the police together to foster more trust with law enforcement and also help the community. Finer print. Be very, very quiet. We're hunting for wabbits. The U.S. versus them works just fine when the them is outside of your country. Yeah, I agree. Bargain hunter paid $20 for old South Carolina teapot. It just sold for $806,000. Out of the Charlotte Observer. A cracked teapot made in South Carolina before the Revolutionary War stunned the auction world days ago by selling in England for an astounding $806,000, media outlets report. Of that, about $520,000 was for the teapot. The rest was for fees, reported in the New York Times. The winning bid on Tuesday was made by Roderick Jellicoe, a London dealer who was acting on behalf of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, said a press release. The final price is 23 times what the pot was expected to fetch, media outlets report. The teapot, which is 3.5 inches high and 5 inches across, is missing its lid and has an obvious repair for a cracked handle. Among the decorations is one of South Carolina's famous palmettos, which is the official state tree. Experts say it's worth all the fuss because the pot is an important and previously unrecorded piece attributed to the country's first known porcelain manufacturer, John Bartolome, who built his first factory in Cainhoy, South Carolina in the 1760s. It marks the birth of American porcelain, reported the UK Telegraph. The teapot is only the 7th recorded piece of Bartolome's porcelain found to exist, and William Wallace of Salisbury, England, which handled the auction, the other 6 pieces, are all in the United States, held in private collections and museums, reports antiquecollector.com. Perseus Gold. Flea markets are pretty great for finding good stuff like that. My end tables are all old Hollywood found in flea markets. Yeah, you can find some really cool stuff in flea markets. Green Badger. Sure, but does it make a decent cup of tea? An eagle-eyed antiques enthusiast bought the teapot 2 years ago in England for only $20 or 15 pounds British money. Media outlets report. The buyer had no idea of its value at the time and said the auction house it was purchased in an online bid at an antiques auction in Lincolnshire, excuse me. There's probably UK people, I have to do this correctly. Lincolnshire, England, reported the New York Times. If it hadn't been for that internet bid, it probably would have ended up in a bin. Clarel Durham of Woolley and Wallace told the New York Times. The high value placed on the teapot by the Met is entirely due to the connection to American history, experts say. Just before the Revolutionary War, there was a non-important agreement in place because the colonies didn't want to import anything from England, winning bidder Rod Jellicoe told Artnet.com. And of course, if they could make their own porcelain, they didn't need to import it from England, so it was a way of being independent from the British. Little is known of Bartlam before he moved from England to Charleston, South Carolina around 1763. Possibly in some debt, reports Woolley and Wallace. He reportedly came to the Charleston area because of rumors the clay was fitting for porcelain, according to the BartlamBlog.com. He established his factory in St. Thomas Parish at a little settlement known in the 18th century as Cane Hoy, on the north bank of the Wando River, north of Charleston, reports the blog. The district had a reputation for good clay sources and had a well-established brick-making industry. At least 5 brickyards were in existence by the 1760s, the blog says. Bartlam died in 1781 after moving his factory to Camden. So there is the teapot. There is the tiny teapot. Next one. Czech schoolboy maps his life from disability to designer. And here is the boy. The toy cars, double-deckers, stuffed toys, and pillows on his bed are meticulously ordered into neat rows. But Matej Hosek still inspects his room with a frown, looking for shortcomings. He pushes one car back by a millimeter with satisfaction, then opens a folder with dozens of transport maps he has drawn as part of his battle with autism. Diagnosed with severe Asperger's syndrome, the 13-year-old bespectacled boy has found peace in order in sophisticated maps of his own making. Not only that, they have also turned him into a fashion designer of sorts. I guess this is something God has given him in exchange for what he has taken away from him, says Matej's mother, Mikhaila Hoskova. Matej was a noisy child, crying 23 hours a day, she says, recalling their life in Prague, block of flats where neighbors regularly banged on their walls or worse, left scratches in their cars. The family, which includes Matej's little sister Sofia, moved to a house in Cernosice, I guess, a small town just west of Prague, where Matej would cry as loud as he wished. Then he discovered maps. Morning, Lord Cancer. Calming. If people used to kick us out of trams because he was yelling all the time. Then one day, on a tram, I gave him a map to read. I don't know where I got it, and he calmed down, says Hoskova. Matej started to ask for tram and underground rides to check if transport maps were correct. He started to copy maps, including his favorite, the London Underground, which he knows by heart, before drawing his own. Picking Cardiff off a map of Britain for its cool name, Matej drew an imaginary underground for the Welsh capital. Other cities followed, and the metro plans improved. With some cities, he said their system had no logic, so he started to redraw the plans, says Hoskova, a former journalist. We need maps. The family's life began to change as Matej's condition improved. They started to go on holidays, which was unthinkable when he was small. We would always go to the information center first. We need maps, chuckled Hoskova. Officially diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome at age 10, Matej gradually started coming to terms with his condition. Children with Asperger's syndrome have a problem with verbal communication. When they see things in a picture, they become easier to understand, says Lenka Mikhalikova, an advisor to autistic people. Structure and visualization serve as an anchor in their uncertainty. They offer predictability, a clue. Grappling with depression and anxiety since puberty, Matej needs an assistant at school, but his results are above average. When he moved from 4th grade to 5th and had to go to different classrooms, he struggled until he drew a map of the school. I must pay good attention to how I am drawing the maps because I like everything to be precise, he tells AFP, explaining how he measures the maps he copes with a ruler beforehand. Every time I look at a map, I calm down. That's what's interesting about me. The same mentality produced the most advanced nations on Earth in Europe. The problem is with the people of Africa. Good afternoon, Hunley. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Call me fat and I'll knock you out. Ah! Oh, my goodness. Oh, straight snowing in Philly now. Ow. Oof. All right, for the last story of the day. These rats nap with tiny teddy bears and just want to be loved. Ready to think about rats in a new way? This is Dr. Poo. He's a pet rat who likes to nap with the teeny tiny teddy bears, and he's undeniably cute while doing it. Dr. Poo is one of 4 rats who lives in Anissa Grace Hannah in her home in Tuamotu, New Zealand. Okay, here we go. If this plays.
For every hour that you're idling,
yay, a commercial.
You're sending about half a gallon.
Okay, still just rain and high wind in NYC. Alright, cool. Alright, here we go. And that won't play. Oh, there we go.
Why don't we do that? We've got.
Alright, never mind. It's not going to play. I'll just do the Instagram ones. The other rats are named Count Furcula, Pigo Mortensen, and Ratchy McCaw. That last one, for non-Kiwis, is a nod to beloved rugby player Richie McCaw. And there's the 3 being all cuddly. Yeah, being all cuddly with their teddy bears. Oh my goodness gracious. The other 2 are like, dude. Oh my goodness, this was way too cute. Okay. Alright. Hannah, as you can discern, loves rats. The 28-year-old also can't help but be aware that not a lot of people share her enthusiasm for the critters, whom she knows to be sweet, smart, clean, and affectionate. I'm actually surprised when someone says they like them or think they're cute. I always feel like I've made a new friend, Hannah told Today. She's piling them on. Oh my goodness. And he's just asleep. Haha, thank you, Viking. Thank you, Sandwich Wench. And Hannah is on her way to making many more new friends now that these videos she's been sharing have been getting a lot of attention. They depict her rats engaged in adorable behavior, often, though not always, involving itty-bitty toys. She purchases the little toys online, in case you're curious. Hannah's had rats for much of her life. Mostly they just been beloved pets and not public figures. But a few years ago, Hannah began putting up videos on social media of her Garat butler. It's because of Garat that I got a following. Sadly, he passed away last November, and a few weeks later I went looking for some new rats to help mend my heart. She said, "Rats are good like that." Peeking out from behind the poo. Hannah, who has training as a veterinary nurse, raves about her rat's darling personalities. Count Furcula is a curious guy who is full of energy. Pigo Mortensen likes to eat and watch television. Ratchy McCaw is pretty independent and often naps alone on the windowsill. And Dr. Poo is a little sweetheart who loves having cuddles. She hopes she captured the animals individually as well as their charm. She also hopes viewers will come away with a new appreciation and perhaps even some love for these often reviled and misunderstood creatures. I have managed to change some people's minds about rats after introducing them to my own or showing them a cute video, Hannah said. I definitely think they need to be more appreciated in society and for people to see they aren't scary at all. Rats just want to be loved. And there's the news for the day. Oh, you used to have a rat that... Oh, wow, that's cool. That is cool. So we all know what this brings us to. So let's get on with the next segment of our shoe. It's because it's a really good shoe. And the recommended videos today starts with Computing Forever, otherwise known as Dave Cullen. The storm is coming, hashtag YouTube purge. He talks about people losing their channels. He talks about a mass purge that's coming on. And he does it in his usual Dave Cullen fashion. So that's the first link of the morning. Second link of the morning is Necrit. For those of you that like to play League of Legends, Necrit does Rift news, talks about Kaisa's short story that was released on the PBE, and because China has a law about drop rates and percentages for anything that could be considered gambling, he goes into the Hextech drop rate chances for skins, champions, and so on and so forth. So you may want to take a look at Rift news. Next one. Digital book burning by the Finer Print, who is in our live chat right now. This is a really good satire video. It's also kind of like social commentary for what's going on YouTube right now. I like how he did this. It was very good editing, and I recommend everybody to watch this slightly less than 2-minute long video. It's very good and very well done. And last, on social media-ish, which is your boy Pat's series on social media stuff, Whitney Wisconsin, who we all know and revile, her channel was terminated, and he talks about how it was terminated and how he believes that it is disgusting, because he believes everybody needs to have free speech, and to deplatform somebody because they're absolutely being, this particular type of raunchy is wrong, and he goes into why he thinks it's wrong. So those are the recommended videos of the day. And now we're going to go into some cancer. Y'all ready for this?
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to this baloney.
He won't, He doesn't stand for baloney.
You are reading this correctly. Eric Killmonger is not a supervillain. He's a super victim of systemic oppression, like Shah and some junk like that they're in. Amir Hassan Loggins. I, like many others, proudly purchased a one-way ticket to the Afro-futuristic wonderland of Wakanda to bask in the cinematic glow of the film Black Panther. From its casting choices all the way down to its costume design, Black Panther can be seen as the on-screen actualization of an untouched, uncarved, technologically advanced African potential, unchained from the grim realities of colonialism and slavery. Yes, I too was drawn to the blockbuster comic film crafted by Black director Ryan Coogler, accompanied by narrative unfamiliar to Hollywood, that placed a black superhero as the lion-hearted protagonist. But with every great hero protagonist, for the viewing audience to empathize and ultimately cheer for, there comes a supervillain antagonist for the viewing audience to vilify and lust for their defeat. In the case of Black Panther, that character was Eric Killmonger Stevens, played by Michael B. Jordan. I have read several pieces focused on Killmonger as the quintessential supervillain. As Mike Scholars writes, Eric Killmonger Stevens is the best villain in Marvel movie history. People are calling him the best on-screen villain since the Joker in The Dark Knight, possibly ever. I refuse to see Killmonger as a supervillain. I see him as a super victim of systemically oppressive forces that forced him into a hyper-awareness of his dual unwanted status in Wakanda and America due to having the blood of his mother, who was a descendant of black folks forced into the United States via the transatlantic slave trade. This two-pronged othering serves as the source of his superpower. His superpower did not derive from radioactive spider bites, like Spider-Man, or mythological alien strength, like that of Superman. Killmonger's character harbors a superpower more potent than the fictive mineral vibranium housed exclusively in Wakanda. Killmonger is a possessor of untempered black rage. It was James Baldwin that framed the pervasiveness of black rage when he said that to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. William H. Greer and Prince M. Cobbs, both psychiatrists whose book Black Rage informed readers that blacks bent double by oppression have scored energy which will be released in the form of rage, black rage, apocalyptic, and final. Viking Sandwich Winch. Is it just me that finds it funny that the advanced African society is made up, yet black people cling to it like it really existed? Yeah, it's funny. It is absolutely hilarious. The black rage of Killmonger Stevens was on full display in its purest form throughout the film, illuminating the various core concerns of both black people living as the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade throughout the African diaspora, as well as himself living as a black man raised in Oakland, California. Oh, it's gotta be California. The black rage of Killmonger was cultivated in the hellish conditions suffered by black folks in America, rendering like those the real-life Oakland native Oscar Grant, whom Killmonger actor Michael B. Jordan played in the critically acclaimed Ryan Coogler film Fruitvale Station. Consistently killable by police with virtual impunity, BLM reference, Killmonger was raised in the backyard of the Black Panther Party for self-defense, who put their lives on the line to give power to the people of suffering in black communities while watching the Wakandan Black Panther hoard power for himself and the people of his nation. Unlike T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman, Killmonger was not concerned with the preservation. God, I don't know why I couldn't read that. I read that all fucked up. Preservation of traditional nobility. He was concerned with accountability, forcing both outside world and Wakanda to confront their roots and continuous contributions necessary for the existence of their black rage, which was smouldering in the soul of Killmonger in the first place. I understand the black rage of Killmonger, because I too have it burning in my chest. And I'm going to skip down to the most cancerous part of all to make everybody groan as I watched Killmonger die at the close of the film. Spoilers, apparently. I did not see the death of a villain. I saw a warrior taking his own life on his own terms, akin to Japanese samurai committed to taking their own lives by way of harakiri, as a sign of atonement, demonstrating enormous psychological courage, which was a way of winning back some measure of honor, even in defeat. When he chose death before the dishonor of incarceration in his father's home nation at the hands of his own cousin T'Challa, he let the world know he belonged with those of the Middle Passage that chose to jump from the slave ships before accepting the inhumane conditions that come with bondage. Japanese culture appropriation. Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Perseus Gold. We was Kangs. The movie totally delusional. Everyone educated knows most of the Egyptians of that time were ginger and blonde due to DNA studies. People pushing Kangs shit should be doing forced labor. Harakiri is the vulgar way of saying it. Gut ripping. The correct terms is seppuku, dumbass. Yep, that's what I was discussing in my Discord this morning, that he used the wrong terminology. Viking Sandwich Witch. Not only that, but they are currently moving out of Oakland and moving into cheaper cities to live in that are near me. Our crime rates here has exploded. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sandwich Wench. And now, even though there's only 2 hours left for the March Humble Bundle, they do have some name your own price bundles that I want to go into. Sooner or later, I'm going to ask them for some sort of sponsorship, since I'm going to be doing this on the regular. 12 days left for Heroes of Indie Comics, which is a comic bundle. The bundle includes Midlife Crisis #1, Nocturnals Volume 1, Royal City #1, Necrotic #1 through 3, Scary Godmother, Lady Death, Chaos Rules #1, ABC Disgusting, Code Monkey, Save World, and a Paper Films sampler. So that is in the comic book bundle. Going back. Golly, why you do this to me? About the partner program. Come on, we already know that that's got an hour left. I don't want to choose a plan. I want to get back to the bundles. You people are a pain in the behind. Here we go. The Brawler bundle, 7 games, $149 value. Still has 11 days left. With Skullgirls and Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue that we covered. Arcana Heart 3 and Street Fighter 10 Tekken. Going down the list, now that I know how to do this. Activision bundle. And the Activision bundle contains everything on sale from Call of Duty games to Destiny 2. All of these are discounted. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is now $5 at 75% off. Destiny 2 Digital Deluxe Edition is 30% off. Prototype Franchise Pack at $14.99. Those are some of the Activision titles that are on sale. Let me see. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Heroes of Indie Comics, 12 days to go. Oh, I already did that one. How can they have that on 2 different bundles? I don't get it. They need to get their stuff together. Comics bundle. Image Exposed has a bundle. The EVE Online Galaxy Pack. Into the Breach, $14.99. Warhammer Vermintide is on sale for those of you that like to play Warhammer. Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition for $49.99. Star Pack for EVE. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff they have online this time around. By the time Monday comes around, I will be doing the March bundle for those of you that are not subscribed to Humble Bundle. The link is in the description. Bayonetta, $9.99. Destiny 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance, which some people like and some people can't stand. Some more bundles and packs. Alien Isolation, the collection is $12.49. So, yep, there's lots of different specials as they all tend to have on the Humble Bundle. With the newest one being the... there's the Sega sale. Alright, here we go. Yep, going through the Sega sale. Here we got Puyo. Tetris. $18.99 for Total War Warhammer 2. Total War Warhammer, I guess that's the whole pack. $53.99 at 10% off. $35.99 Thrones of Britannia Total War Saga. Bayonetta for $10, which is 50% off. Motorsport Manager. Alien Isolation is 78% off. So there is your Vanquish is $10, 50% off. Call of the Beastmen is 33% off, along with Realm of the Wood Elves. If you guys like to play Eldar, yes, I know that terminology. Endless Space, 50% off. Company of Heroes, 75% off. Total War Attila, 75% off. Total War Rome 2 Emperor Edition, 50% off. Grim in the Grave, 33% off. Castle of Illusion is 66% off at $5.09. And the list goes on and on for all the sales that Humble Bundle is offering. So that is your Humble Bundles. And now, provided my voice holds out, I'm going to read the live stream announcements for the day. Because my voice is trying to leave me, and I still have stuff I have to do. As always, Suits Streaming Channel and Sinatra Secondary Streaming Channel are listed at the top of the list. Kumite has probably started playing its Gulf City cartoons in anticipation for more people flooding into its live chat. Wrenilations at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to hang out with Reading Wren. Also, tonight, not listed on Reading Wren's channel, is going to be Shit Lord's Theater, so watch out for that. That's usually at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Wren's main channel, which is also Reading Wren, or Shit Lord's Theater, depending. Goes Poo Podcast, Sinatra Streams, the link is above. 8 p.m. Hellcats, Jason Brazeal's channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Scribe Light is hosting Lords of the Night, and as always, as soon as Lords of the Night is over with, Minions of the Zoo is doing their night stream at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those are the live stream links. If you wish to submit any scheduled live streams to add to this list, scheduled meaning they run the same time on the same days, consistently, please either DM me on Twitter or Discord with the channel link, day and time that it plays, and I will be more than happy to add it to the live streaming list. You can contribute to this channel by going to mwm-media.com below and either becoming a patron or slipping a tip in the Streamlabs link that is also below. By the end of the year, I am planning on migrating all my live streams completely to Twitch, which means the archives is going to be here and BitChute, and those are going to be edited live streams to edit out any of the bloopers that I can edit out, and the opening music montages. So please, the Twitch link is floating around now on the YouTube side. Click on that, follow me, and I will make an announcement as to when I will no longer be live streaming on YouTube when that finally happens. So please keep an eye on that. As always, my friends, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, and may you have a fantastically fabulous Friday. Take care, my coffee nuts.